Okay, let me start with the parable now. You have two guys. They both start a business together. And it works well. The money comes in, both are hard workers. Then one day, one of them gets married. So now he can't work that much anymore. And he decides, you know what? Let's split the company. I move on doing my part of it. You move on, you do your part. You're still single, you have other ambitions, but I have a family now. Because my son is about to be born within 2 months. So both men decide, you know what, it's the best thing to do. Let's separate. No pun intended. It was a good agreement. You have your family now, you spend more time with that. I'm moving on with doing business. Then, 3 years later, the man that began for himself as an entrepreneur, he had a family now, wasn't doing so well. And his wife considered divorcing him. So, when that was going on, that other guy, the ex-business partner, wanted to reach out. But the guy who was now heading towards bankruptcy said to the other, don't worry about it, I got this. He was proud. Then the wife suddenly realized that if she divorced, she would be a divorced woman, and a single mother, she doesn't want that. But she was still upset that her husband was in a bad economic situation. So the woman projected this frustration on the ex-business partner of her husband. And she began to tell her husband, you know, that guy that you were doing business with, the moment you were married, he kicked you out. He kicked you out. You think you left on your own volition, thinking, you know what, let's cut this because I have a family now. No, he manipulated you. He kicked you out. And look at him now. He has a lot of cash, making money. He earns thousands of euros every week. And look at you. Look at us, we're bankrupt. He robbed you, man. The husband, who's kind of depressed at the moment, believes what his wife is telling him. Even though it was him that decided, you know what, I'll continue with my business here, which I can combine with my family life, and you keep doing your thing. Even though he suggested it. But now, because he was frustrated and he wanted relief, he believed the accusation of his wife, even though he should know very well that it ain't true. Well, that guy that was depressed, he, together with two other folks, which were cousins of him who were also depressed, they assaulted the ex-business partner and they killed him. So very soon the police knew that he was the killer. Now, that was the parable. Why am I giving you this parable? Because similar things like that happens. They do. You have people get involved with one another. It begins well, starts well, and continues well. And even if the cooperation changes because one now has more interests or different interests and they split in peace, it can happen that after the coalition ended, that individual who is disappointed after the coalition, he's not disappointed with the coalition itself, but how things happened after the coalition. Thinking they can move on their own without the other, things go wrong, what happens? When they don't want to face themselves, they will look back, and if you are doing well off, far better than they do, then they will turn on you. Yes, they will turn on you. They will blame you. Now it's your fault that the marriage is falling apart. Now it's your fault that they're heading towards bankruptcy. Now it's your fault that every time they hear about you, they're triggered. While when they were in a coalition with you, things were all fun and enjoy. That's why you ought to trust the Holy Spirit. There are times Holy Spirit snatches people out of your life like that. With snatching away, I don't mean taking them out, like killing them, like Satan does. But the Holy Spirit will cut ties, snatch people away from your life, just like that, without informing you. Why? To guard you. Because the Holy Spirit knows who those people are. It can be that you're not in a business together with them, they're just associates, and you talk with one another from time to time, give each other's feedback, positive feedback. It can be it's all good now, but the Holy Spirit sees that a few years from now, when they are going through some challenging times, instead of facing challenging times, they will become upset, depressed, and they'll begin to lash out. And the Holy Spirit sees that they will transfer this heaviness onto you because they're selfish, and in their misery they want company, so they will draw you in their misery at your own expense so they can feel good about themselves. And if you refuse to be part of their misery, they're going to accuse you that you're not that you are cruel, you're this and that, and the Holy Spirit doesn't want you to go through all of it. So the Spirit just snatches them away from you. When the Holy Spirit does this, let Him do it. Let Him do it. In the world where people don't follow Christ, and a lot of folks don't have a paranormal cover either, they are an easy target to do these things. It often happens that frantic coalitions turn out homicidal. It often happens in the world. How do you prevent that? Just agree with Christ. You don't give the Holy Spirit His place. Just comply with the Holy Spirit. When He snatches people away, let Him snatch them away. Agree with Christ.